In the shadow of the Rocky Mountains, where the air carried the faint scent of pine and exhaust from the interstate, Jake Harlan's life had unraveled like a frayed tow rope. At 28, he was a ghost of the man he'd once imagined himself becoming. Born in a modest ranch-style house in Arvada, Colorado, a suburb of Denver where pickup trucks outnumbered sedans and Friday nights meant high school football under floodlights, Jake had grown up with grease under his nails. His father, a Vietnam vet turned auto shop owner, had taught him everything from torque wrenches to the quiet dignity of hard work. "Fix what's broken, son," he'd say, "starting with yourself." But life had a way of breaking things faster than Jake could repair them. High school ended with a football scholarship that fizzled out after a blown knee in freshman year. He married young, at 22, to Sarah, his high school sweetheart with dreams of nursing school and a white picket fence. They scraped by in a one-bedroom apartment above a laundromat, where the constant hum of dryers masked their arguments about bills and unfulfilled promises. The divorce came at 25, clean but devastating. Sarah left with the dog and half the furniture, citing his emotional unavailability in the papers. Jake didn't fight it. He knew she was right. He'd buried himself in work at Harlan's Auto Repair, the shop his dad had left him. But the pandemic shutdowns hit like a sledgehammer. Suppliers dried up, customers vanished, and the bank foreclosed. His mother's breast cancer diagnosis followed like a cruel aftershock, draining his savings on chemo co-pays and hospital parking fees until she passed quietly in hospice, her last words a whispered, "Be strong, Jakey." Now, evicted from his own place, Jake crashed on the lumpy couch in his buddy Mike's garage apartment. Mike, a burly welder with a heart as big as his beer gut, didn't charge rent but made Jake promise to get his shit together. Nights blurred into one another. Cheap beer from the corner store, scrolling job sites on a cracked phone screen, and the relentless inner monologue that echoed his failures. "You're a Harlan," it sneered, "supposed to fix things, not break them." The weight pressed on his chest like an engine block, making every breath a labor. That fateful night, the clock on Mike's microwave blinked 12:47 a.m. Jake had wandered out to the driveway, perching on the tailgate of Mike's rusted '98 Ford F-150. The truck bed was littered with empty cans and fast food wrappers, a testament to their shared bachelor misery. The Rockies loomed in the distance, black monoliths under a canopy of stars that seemed mocking in their vast indifference. A half-empty Coors Light sweated in his hand, the cold aluminum biting into his palm. He tilted his head back, staring at the Milky Way's faint smear, and let out a ragged sigh. "God, universe, whatever the hell's out there. If there's a point to all this crap, a reason I'm still kicking instead of 6 feet under, now's the time to clue me in. I'm done, tapped out. Just give me something." The crickets chirped their eternal chorus. A semi-truck rumbled on the highway a mile away. Nothing else. Then it began. At first, Jake thought it was a trick of the light, a distant car's headlights reflecting off low clouds, but the glow emerged from the ground itself, about 50 yards down the gravel road leading to the old abandoned quarry. It was soft, golden, like sunlight filtered through honey, rising slowly like a balloon released from a child's hand. No engine noise, no footsteps, just an ethereal hum that vibrated in his bones, warm and insistent. It approached, hovering at eye level 20 feet away, expanding into a sphere the size of a beach ball. Jake's beer slipped from his fingers, clattering to the ground and foaming onto the dirt. Words materialized within the light, not projected, but woven into it, each letter shimmering like embers in a forge. Jake Harlan. This message will reach you exactly when you need it most. You are not a failure. You are not forgotten. You are the anvil upon which destiny is hammered. The scars on your soul, the lost job, the empty home, the grave you visit on Sundays, they are not chains. They are the forge's fire, tempering you for what comes next. You were chosen long before your first breath, not for ease or glory, but because your heart endures. In a world of quitters, you persist. In the silence of suffering, you still whisper hope to strangers. Remember the kid at the shop last year? The one whose bike you fixed for free because his mom was crying over the bill? That was no accident. That was you. The universe doesn't choose the flawless, it chooses the fighters, the ones who've stared into the abyss and blinked back. Everything stripped away was to make room for purpose, for people, for the light you're meant to carry. Your training is nearly complete. The pain was the curriculum. Survival was the test. Now, rise. Start with one step tomorrow. Walk to that shop that's turned you away. Don't beg. Offer. Give them a glimpse of the fire inside you. Doors will open, not with fanfare, but with quiet inevitability. Allies will appear. Challenges will test you further, but you'll bend, not break. You are never alone. Guardians watch. Ancestors whisper. The stars align for those who look up. Remember who you are, the chosen one, not of prophecy or power, but of quiet revolution. The man who rebuilds worlds, one bolt at a time. We've been waiting. Now it's your turn to lead. The words pulsed, each syllable etching itself into Jake's mind like a brand. Tears he thought long dried up welled in his eyes, blurring the glow. His chest heaved, not with the familiar crush, but with a release, like a dam cracking under pressure. The light held for minutes, or maybe hours. Time lost meaning. Then it dimmed, fragmenting into a cascade of golden sparks that swirled upward, merging with the stars, until only the...
Jake didn't move for a long time. His mind raced. Hallucination? Heat stroke? Some elaborate prank by Mike? But deep down he knew it was real. It had to be. For the first time in years, the voice in his head was silent, replaced by a quiet resolve. Dawn broke with a pink flush over the peaks. Jake rose, muscles aching from the cold, but his steps were purposeful. He showered under the trickle of Mike's ancient faucet, scrubbing away the grime of defeat. He ironed his one good shirt, a faded blue button-up from his wedding, and laced up boots worn thin from pavement pounding. The 3-mile walk to Apex Auto felt shorter that day, the crisp mountain air filling his lungs like fuel. The shop owner, a grizzled vet named Hank with a perpetual oil stain on his forehead, eyed him warily. "You again, Harlan? Told you, no openings." Jake met his gaze steadily. "Not asking for charity, Hank, just a shot. Got any junkers in the back you ain't touched? I'll fix one, no pay, just to show you." Hank chewed his lip, then jerked a thumb toward the rear lot. Under a tarp choked with weeds sat a '67 Mustang Fastback, its cherry red paint faded to rust, engine seized like a forgotten promise. "That one's a lost cause. Bring it back and we'll talk." Jake dove in that day, tools borrowed from Mike's kit. He worked through blisters and backaches, dismantling the carburetor under the relentless sun. Memories flooded him, his dad's calloused hands guiding his own on a similar engine, Sarah's laugh from the passenger seat on their first date, his mom's frail smile during treatments. Each wrench turn was a reclamation. Words spread like oil on water. By week's end, the Mustang purred like a kitten. Hank hired him on the spot, full rate plus overtime. But Jake didn't stop there. He volunteered for the tough jobs, the overnights, the charity fixes for locals hit hard by layoffs. A single mom named Elena brought her sputtering minivan. Jake waived the fee, teaching her son basic maintenance while he worked. "Kid's got your spark," he told her. The boy beamed. Months deep into the change, Jake saved enough for a tiny studio apartment, walls bare, but his own. He started a side gig, free clinics at the community center, teaching vets and at-risk teens auto skills. One vet, Ramirez, shadowed him silently at first, then opened up about his tours in Afghanistan. Under the hood, they rebuilt more than cars. They rebuilt trust. Challenges came, as the message promised. A rival shop undercut prices, nearly tanking Apex. Jake rallied the team, innovating with eco-friendly mods that drew eco-conscious Denverites. Personal storms hit too. An old flame resurfaced, stirring doubts, but Jake chose solitude over aggression. And on his mother's birthday, grief ambushed him, but he channeled it, donating tools to a women's shelter in her name. Nearly 2 years later, Jake stood on that same tailgate, the Mustang now his, gleaming under a full moon. Mike clapped him on the back at a backyard barbecue, where Elena, now a friend, perhaps more, laughed with the group. The weight was gone, transmuted into strength. He whispered to the stars, "I'm walking, and I'm bringing others along." In the vast tapestry of existence, the Chosen One wasn't a hero of legends. He was every man who rose from ashes, forging light from darkness. And somewhere, in realms unseen, the Guardians nodded. Because Jake Harlan had remembered, he was the message the world needed most.